Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Right, here we go. Welcome again, and you've clicked on what episode is it going to be? Of course you know it before I do, because I only know what I'm going to pretty much talk about. Our wrong health fixations. That's the going one, but you know what it's exactly about. So I've done, for what I'm going to mention here, I've had dedicated episodes too. But in the interest of being more succinct, less empty minutes, all that sort of thing, I'll cram them all into one. I've had recent episodes of not understanding genetic markers, our wrong emphasis on environment and lifestyle choice in what causes our disease. The World Health Organization suggests 80% of disease is environmental and lifestyle choice. Very wrong. It's micronutrients. I'll just throw it out there. The whole drinking 8 glasses of water per day, the whole must sleep 8 hours a day, the whole grounding, sunlight, toxin exposure, mold exposure, EMF exposure, organic, seed oils, processed foods. So just by mentioning those, you understand where I'm going to go, sort of. Out of all those concerns, where do they rate? I've already indicated, signaled that micronutrients are at least 80%, 95%, I'd like to suggest, but let's go with 80%, the factor that will address your ills in very short order. I do subscribe to getting enough sleep, having enough fluid. It doesn't just mean water, it just means fluid. Water is fluid, by the way. I drink a lot of it, actually, a lot of fluid water. And with with the side of caffeine from time to time, 2 or 3 coffees a day, decaf, organic, mind you, because as I've mentioned in the past, normal coffee has a risk of mold exposure. It's picked from those hot climates, put in the silos of the cold nights. Condensation equals mold. Anyway, I like to get more sleep, but I manage about, say, 6.5 hours is my going rate. That's probably all I need. There are people that can get by on 5, or some that need 9 or 10. But this whole idea of 8, and you wear the sleep trackers and all that sort of thing. Is that a 1%er? Is that a 5%? It's not 80%. Grounding, I believe. When I remember, daily, just a few steps out in the backyard when I do 1 or 2 repetitions of my calisthenics, which adds up to a whole 1 minute of calisthenics each day. That's how I get a little bit of grounding. You need half an hour. I can't do half an hour when it's freezing outside in this neck of the woods this time of year. Then you get the 8 glasses of water per day, people. I probably drink on the equivalent of 20 glasses a day. Probably due to a lot of salt intake. Don't be afraid of salt. Yes, the salt people. We need salt to digest. is the salt, is the sunlight. The sunlight, people. Yes, we need sunlight. I've mentioned, yeah, sunlight in regards to resetting your circadian rhythm, but also the vitamin D synthesizing necessities. Okay, the idea of resetting your circadian rhythm. 5 minutes of that morning sun is enough to spark you into process action for your physiology. Vitamin D, yes, you need a bit of time out there. In this part of the world, you only need 5 minutes because there's plenty of lux out there. In different parts of the world, you do need those 20 or 30 minutes to get the amount of lux into your system. And don't wear sunglasses. Also, if you wear spectacles like me, just look over your frames to get even more exposure, okay? Yes. So I do. Even though this is where I'm going, is poo-pooing some of these ideas, I'm not quite there with the sleep and the water intake, those magic numbers, a little bit of grounding, some sunlight. I get sometimes 1 hour a day of full sunlight. What else should we chuck in there? Organic food, eating clean. I do that. But any of those, if you add all those at 5%, should that then equal to 50%? No. Even if you add all those, which I've just mentioned, to equal 50% of what we need for ultimate health, still, I'd only put that example of 50% into the 5 or 20% range. That majority, I'm telling you, it's in the micronutrients. Understanding the whole micronutrients complex, understanding that we need to digest, absorb, get dependable daily supply each and every day, and for the rest of your life, because our food supply chain is stuffed, not enough minerals, especially in the soils. If they don't end up in the soils, they don't end up in our foods. And if there's no flooding or replacing the depleted soils after each carrot, each lettuce that gets pulled out, if you're not supplementing the soils with the minerals they used to once have, the next harvest will have even less until you're having zero. And then you're down to the point where you're only getting NPK, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and that's all you're getting. How about the extra calcium you need, the extra potassium, magnesium, selenium, and all the other 55 or so minerals that we need? Even arsenic is a essential mineral, only if it goes through your liver, of course. So all those health ideas, if the herb people and the aromatherapy people want to get their 1% in, you can. But altogether, 5%, 20%, the 80 or 95% is the micronutrients. Yes, I'm including sleep and the whole move more, eat less, and all those people. Micronutrients. If you have ample micronutrients that you're digesting and absorbing, you won't need to worry about eating less and moving more, because there'll be a self-regulation of your weight. So I'm conscious these days to not fill in too many empty minutes. So I'll sum up, and because of the high numbers of one-off listeners, I don't blame you. It's not prepared. It's just this idiot riffing. I'll just end with what the Health 44 is. Health happens when you do the 44. Take away 4 classes of micronutrients. Bring in 4 classes of did I just say the other way around? The first 4 of the 44 is you take away 90% plus of the supermarket. 4 classes of food we need to eliminate. Yes, it's an elimination thing, but you need to. Then you bring in those 90 declared essential micronutrients, those 4 classes of micronutrients. So the first 4, the 44, the classes of food we take away, the glutens, wheat, barley, rye, oats, oils, burnt animal fat, oils in a bottle, fried food, out, sugars, fruit and veg, decreasing the amount. Yes. I should have included the vegans and the vegetarians in there, shall I? Yeah, and then number 4 is the nitrates and nitrites. Nitrates and nitrites we need to take out, which is pretty much in the processed meats complex. Then we bring in the supplementation of those 90 declared essential micronutrients. 60 of those. The first 4 of those, of the second 4. The first of the 4, the second 4. Those 4 classes of micronutrients. 60 of those essential micronutrients are minerals. There's 16 essential vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids. And the reason why they're all essential is because our body can't make those in the ample amounts that we require. So we need to take them in daily. And health will happen with the 44. So that's pretty much it. So our fixation on those health ideas, modalities, principles, concepts, ideas is lopsided. 1% of your go-to with the sleep. 1% maybe with the fluid intake and not drinking alcohol or caffeine. 1% for the toxin people. I'll give you 2% for the toxin people. No matter what your idea, you better incorporate the micronutrients. Because if you don't have 80% micronutrients in your health makeup or understanding or fixation, yes, he's the micronutrient guy that's fixated on micronutrients. If you don't even subscribe to what I suggest here, even by faith, I'd say, let's compare notes in 30 years if particular gurus of those other particular modalities are still alive. Even the likes of the Gary Brecker. All these people I'm mentioning are in the same age category. The Gary Brecker, the Andrew Huberman, the Dr. Rhonda Patrick, the Dr. Attia, then you get the Jim Bros, the Mike Israetel, the Andy Galpin, the shredded guy. There's a lot of shredded guys. Anyway, all those people around the same sort of age group, with the exception of perhaps Doc, the essential fatty acids doctor. What's her name again? I did mention it just now. Anyway, and Doc Mike Israetel, he's barely in his 40s. So all those others that I mentioned are in the same sort of age group, late 40s, 50s. There's some of the ones in the 60s like Dave Osprey and a few others kicking around. Even Joe Rogan has his fingers in the pie of certain health concepts. So let's compare notes. If even half of those people are still alive in 20, 30 years' time, and see where micronutrients fits in there. So that's all I'll give you today. Thanks again. Hopefully see you some other time. Bye-bye.